Welcome, fellas. There is a fire on the mountain for Tinubu in the north because the northern leaders, the northern senators, all of them have come into a consensus that the greatest mistake they will ever make in their life is to see Tinubu retained in that Aso Rock. Ali Ndume yesterday was on the very famous Sunday Politics. He had a conversation with Sheun Okinboloye. And he said the endorsement that Tinubu got is simply an endorsement of sycophancy, of shame, and not the real organic supporters of the people on the street or a representation of the people in the north. That everything Tinubu is doing it solely for his own selfish interest and, of course, his lucrative cabals. You know, I've always said that Ali Ndume has been the loudest voice. In fact, he has been the attack dog of the North against Tinubu. And now he is, he's trending a word, and that word is rig and die in the North. They have declared a war. He has read the Riot Act against Tinubu that your every attempt to rig in the north, you are going to die. So what does this mean? This is a clear indication that the north are what have agreed collectively to boot out Tinubu. Who would that replace Tinubu with? That is who I am patiently looking out for. Because as far as we are concerned, the coalition groups, which consist of at this stage, it consists of Atiku, Amechi, El-Rufai. We don't know who's going to lead the coalition. But there are so many things working in favor of Tinubu. Because as far as I'm concerned, Obi has reported to have what? Pulled out of the coalition. Obi has said he will not run alongside anybody if he is not made the leader of the coalition. All right? Because so many people have threatened Obi. Are we going to talk about the Middle Belters? The Middle Belters have told Obi, if you will be running in any coalition and you have an El-Rufai who happens to be a fanatic of Islamic beliefs, because El-Rufai has been tagged as a sympathizer of the Fulani bandits. There are so many allegations, so many security reports about him, in the news. And as far as we're concerned, El-Rufai has been granted personal non-granta in the Middle Belt, and even in some parts of the South. So many people see El-Rufai as a guy who can never be trusted. Hence, the reason why Peter Obi has said, my hand no day for this coalition. And this is why I said everything seems to be working in favor of Tinubu. Because if you cannot have a united opposition that will go into that 2027 election against Tinubu, yet again, Tinubu will emerge, just as what we had in 2023. However, the North are saying that the last time they were the ones that rigged for Tinubu. Isn't that funny? They said, yes, we were the one that elected Tinubu. We rigged him in. The person that we know that rigged Tinubu in the South openly is Wike. And we know how beneficiary, how much benefit, how much Wike has been enjoying under this Tinubu administration. The North are saying that, well, we who had done the groundwork for Tinubu in the North, because we literally gave Tinubu most of the votes in the North, right? In the Middle Belt, the same thing, but we have not been having any benefit. And then I asked the North, why are you always covetous when we have a Southerner in the seat of president? And I want to send a sound of warning to Obi. Yes, while I agree that Obi sincerely deserves to be a president, but I think Obi must be very careful in dealing with the North, because if he is a student of history and if he's a man who is so observative, you must see that what Tinubu is actually going through today And where we are seeing that Tinubu is buying everybody in the south, because Tinubu has literally bought all the southern governors. Just over the weekend, we saw the Akwa Ibom man, the camped. Very soon we are told that Bayelsa want to keep a camp. We are told that River State, because we saw the suspended governor of River State, what's his name again? This weakest boy, Fubara, similarly Fubara, we saw him also, prostrating, bending over, begging the man called Tinubu that, Oga, I beg you, yeah, you don't to punish me. I go come APC, forgive me of all my sins. But we have not seen northern governors in other parties they camp. So, but instead, we are seeing people living, right? We are seeing people demarketing Tinubu. Even when they are in the APC camp, they are demarketing Tinubu. So it is going to be a battle of the north and south. The middle belt and the southeast will end up being the beautiful bride. With my own political analytic lenses, for me, I would wish that the power retains in the south. And to be specific, I would want Epito Obi to be there. But again, Epito Obi might not be able to win if it is not win with a landslide in the middle belt. Epito Obi might not get a considerable amount of votes in the north, because we were told the last time over a radio, interrogations and all that with the northern people, they have claimed that the campaign of calumny that they ran against Obi was Obi can never be trusted, and for them to campaign in favor of Obi will have to be 2031. That means Obi would first and foremost deputize Atiku. They want Obi to deputize. Then afterwards, he will now have been tested for a period of time to see how he worshipped Atiku. So maybe they will now have a change of heart. By that, and Atiku will probably hold his hands and take him around. In fact, maybe they will even take Obi to the grave of Uthman Fodio there, where he can touch the grave and, make a prayer of wishes. And these were the things, these were the words of the North. So you see why Tinubu is being hated. Because Tinubu haven't, stepped down for Buhari to do his 8 years. Now that Tinubu believes that it is my turn, Tinubu has done what so many presidents in the past have never done. Tinubu has been cutting them one by one, and they are feeling the heat, because so many of the sectors that benefit the North, are we talking about the illegal mining? Are you talking about the Bûrn, the share, the dollar business? Are you talking about the oil and gas that does not belong to them, but they have happened to be the most people that have emerged as the managing director of NNPC? So you can see that because Tinubu has been tribalizing those sectors and be appointing his own men, which are the largely Yorubas. If Tinubu goes to the middle belt, he go and pink Yorubas, most of the time. And Tinubu has been creating that gap between the core north and the middle belters. So they know that, no, this guy shouldn't go beyond 2027. The middle belters are now, let me tell you, that 2027, first and foremost, will be a battle between Obi and Tinubu for middle belt. Yes. And thankfully, Obi did not make the mistake to go and pick someone like El-Rufai. Right? Because, yes, for him to have picked an El-Rufai, he would have lost a very large chunk of votes. But now we know what Tinubu is doing to try and win the hearts. Because he knows that the same formula Jonathan used in 2011 is what he wants to use. That's Tinubu. Because Jonathan did not win the core northern states. What Jonathan won was the middle belt and the whole of south. Jonathan won southwest, he won southeast, and he won south-south. Right? But in this time, we know that the Obi factor, Tinubu can never No matter what, no matter how it dare not win Southeast. It can't. And now there is a war declared against Tinubu in the north that you rig, you die. So Tinubu's full focus is south because he has Wike and he believes Wike is a political talk that can help him do all those nonsense. So he's so uh, reliant on Wike. In the southwest, nobody can argue about that. In fact, my prediction is in the southwest, I don't think an Obi might be able to get in total up to 2 million. Because I know that the southwest election in 2027 will be a war. All over the social media, we have been seeing people, they have been threatening the Igbos, they have been threatening the obedience, telling them that you are you are now propagating rig and die. Southwest, there's nothing any obedient, any Obi supporter would do because we are going to beat the freaking out of anybody that tries rubbish. And yet the DSS, the Nigerian police, all of them are just keeping quiet. So we know and we see that Southwest Tinubu will, by every means, want to capture that. I mean, we've seen Osun State governor. These are PDP states, right? But we've seen how the Osun State governor went to meet Tinubu, bowing down, trying to go into that consensus that yes, we want to support the Southern presidency. So these are the issues. Now, Atiku, who wants to be a spoiler, ordinarily an Atiku who should have endorsed. I'm telling you, they should have endorsed Obi, but we know that Atiku is just a normal northern Fulani power grabber who is out there, who are always after just snatching the powers. This is a mentality, right? This is a mentality. So they are in there to grab power. And Tinubu has seen this, that I'm not going to read for not, make I not do pass myself. Because now they've read the Riot Act. Now they are what? Parroting that word, echoing that word, amplifying that word, singing that word, rig and die in the north. And I can see that the obedient have joined that queue. But yet again, the northern senators can never be trusted. No matter how much I demarket Tinubu, no matter how much I try to devalue him, one thing is certain for Tinubu is he is a perfect man who has understood the dark art of divide and rule. He is a dark politician who understands the mechanism, the systematism of what? Divide and rule. It will bring commotion, it will bring tribalism. And this is why I'm always saying that Obi must wake up, because for Obi to become the president, he cannot get through there by being a diplomatic, a liberal sort of person. Otherwise, he should just leave the camp. He should leave the arena of the Nigerian politics. The Nigerian politics is filled with so much vitriol, is filled with so much division. There's religion, there's tribalism. We know all these things. So it is sad that Obi is acting slow. Right? He needs to get into the ring and play the game as it should. Because I will not support an Atiku. I will not support the North to grab the power come 2027. I will not support a Tinubu to continue because he's terrible. I will want an Obi to win the election, but I cannot help Obi other than what I do every day, because if he fails to see the game, if he fails to understand and comprehend what Tinubu is doing, using division, giving juicy positions to people in the middle belt, then I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the North might eventually grab the power, or Tinubu, through his chemisms, regain power. And that's going to be an unfortunate incident. However, let us listen to what the North are insisting that why Tinubu must go.
Every appointment must reflect federal character. And that means that every tribe, state, region must feel that they belong. And that is what he did. And as I said, The good thing expected of a leader is that if the issue is raised genuinely, then he should look at it positively and make amends. And I think that is what Mr. President did. That is what I can say.
Although there are people, some of those who work closely with the president, they didn't take lightly some of your comments. Your very good brother from Borno South, Mr. Daniel Bwala, was very frank about the way he felt about your criticism of the president. And there are those within the party who feel that you have some very bad feeling about the performance of the. Do you think that there are things aside these appointments that are not going well with the party and in the government of Tinubu?
First of all, I really want to correct you on this and maybe also advise you because you are always trying to, throw a punch below the belt. Bola Takeout is my junior, is my brother, and we're Nigerians. And we respect one another. And so you cannot be pulling me down to talk about Bola. Bola is just a special assistant to the president. So you can't equate not only Ndumi to Bola. I'm a senator, and senator for the fourth time in the first place. And as I told you, yes, Bola is from my constituency, but he's not. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's nobody, but it's not fair for you to start. When I was talking about the president, I'm not talking to his personal aides or you didn't like the word I used, but more of a domestic staff.
But the question is the import, because those who speak for the president they're perhaps sometimes speaking based on the brief given to them by their principal. So I'm saying in that sense.
No, I don't wait now. That is the problem. We have started again now. You don't tell me what to say. The president has 3 special advisors, and all of them are not the same. As far as I'm concerned, the best among them is Sunday Dare. This is the man who can speak or even speak the mind of the president because he has been with him for a very long time. He has been a spokesman, he has been his chief of staff, he has been a minister in the former government, and you can see his response. He tries as much as possible to address issues, not persons. And I give him credit for that. If the president had more of that than you are dragging me into the other people that are busy being more Catholic than the Pope. It spoils the matter. So please, let's talk about what you want me to talk about. I don't want to talk about those people. I'm done with them.
I'm asking you, Senator, that some of what you have said in the statement that you have made about the administration of Bola Tinubu were perhaps perceived with hard feelings in the party.
No,
do you regret some of these comments?
Wait now. What hard feeling will I have? I'm a senator already. I contested and I wanted to be a senator. And I'm a senator, alhamdulillah. You understand? So you see, you are the one dragging the issue into the mud or to the wrong direction. My own responsibility as the representative of the people, as a senator, as a citizen of Nigeria, and as somebody from Borno State, I have the right. I have the right to point out some of the, lapses or observations or policies that are not in tandem. And I also commend Mr. President when it is appropriate. I don't only criticize. When he does the right thing, as he did now, he listened to what I complain about. He even asked for the details, and he got the details, and then he made correction. At one scoop, he appointed over 24 people from the north. That balances it.
So you are happy with the president now and what he's been doing?
Well, I don't have problem with the president. Don't be saying I have problem with the president. I said it severally. He's my president. So why would I have problem with the president? But if he does something that is not right or is against the constitution or I will point it out. And if he does something that needs to be commended, I will commend it. I have done that severally.